Welcome back. I'm Ethan Sargeant, and here we've got some sports. Stuart, rejoice, because your Federal Hocking Lancer boys basketball team are district champions for the first time since 1970. First off, the Eagles will be losing seniors Jace Bullington and Trey Hill, both of which were significant contributors this past season. Let's flash back to an early January matchup between the Trimble Tomcats and those Eagles at the Nest. And I want to pause things right here to show you what exactly went wrong for the Eagles on this defensive possession. You're going to see all 5 Eagles defending inside. However, they forget a big thing. Caden Kempton down low, a crucial scorer for the Trimble Tomcats. And as you see, he makes him pay with a beautiful finish inside over Cooper Barnett. And that allows for Trimble to extend what would be an eventual win over the Eagles.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center with Marty Bannister and Kate Cummings. I'm Ethan Sargeant, 55-54 here at the start of the fourth quarter. I was just inside the Ohio huddle, and it was a spirited huddle from Coach Bob Bolden. The biggest thing that he wants is for the Bobcats to move the ball around more and attack the spaces. And the other thing that he did was he colored in that whiteboard that he's got and screamed, "Get in the paint." He wants his Bobcats to use their size down low, and then the last thing he had was finish strong. It's the final frame. They got to lock in. Back up to you, Marty.
With 7.2 seconds on the clock, Eastern is down just 3, and Damian Miller standing right where I'm standing, ready to inbound the ball. And as you can see right here, he may have taken a step inbounds, which would have meant Eastern basketball, but in the end, a Southern timeout was called, and that may have saved the game for the Tornadoes.
Mata, the LCL Buckeye, is going to be must-watch TV this season, and this game proves why. The deck was reshuffled, and the Granville Blue Aces were looking for a royal flush against the Hornets of Licking Heights. Picking up on Granville's second drive, Ernsberger tosses it to junior Dante Verasso, and my goodness, what a grab. He comes back for it. Granville leads 6-0. Moving forward, the Hornets needed a spark, and they got it from DJ Fillmore, who blocks the punt and takes it back himself to give Licking Heights the 7-6 lead. Granville's attempting to come back late in the second, but oh no, the Grease Pig, it's loose on the goal line, and it's picked up by the Hornets, and they weren't done, as quarterback Deuce Caldwell tosses up a prayer to Josiah Ayers, and by God, it is answered. Catch of the year candidate, and Licking Heights would score on the drive to make it 14-6 at the half. The Hornets would just keep on buzzing in the second half. 2 long, bruising touchdown drives to extend the lead to 28-6. Hang on though, Granville wasn't done yet, recovering 2 onside kicks, but the Hornets would just about hang on. Granville's deck folds, 28-18.
Yeah, thanks, Marty. When you mention this game, the Battle of the Bricks, it just means that little bit more. And you can feel the energy in this building, even as we are approaching tip-off here. And it means just a little bit more for Jaya McClure. You just mentioned it's her freshman year. This is her first opportunity to taste that Battle of the Bricks. And she's had a very short and sweet quote to sum it up when we talked to her earlier today. If they don't like us, we don't like them.
The Eastern Lady Eagles came away victorious in tonight's playoff divisional semifinal against the Paint Valley Lady Bearcats by the score of 41-26. The story of the night was right here at the Charity Stripe. The Lady Bearcats shot just 40% from the line, hitting only 8 of their 20 attempts. Meanwhile, it was the opposite story for the Lady Eagles. They'd shoot 86% of their free throws, 12 out of 14. Shout out John Rothstein. January, February, bowls. We're just a few short weeks away from March, and as the calendar flips, the Ohio men's basketball team are heating up at the right time. Edwards gets the ball to Trey Hill, who finds Brady Rockhold, and then Rockhold gets it into Colton Lloyd. And you'll see there, Noah Cremines just can't quite get his feet right, flat-footed, and that allows Colton Lloyd to move past him and put the ball up into the basket for an easy tray. Now, when I spoke to Coach David Kite earlier this week, he expressed excitement for how Nolan Lloyd and the rest of his young squad will continue to put in the work this offseason. The foundation in the Nest is only going to get stronger, ladies and gentlemen, and I, for one, am so excited to see where it's headed. Back over to Bryson Haley at the desk.
Thank you very much, Marty. First, the update from Abby Garnett. Unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties, we didn't quite get it through. But Abby Garnett did come back out onto the bench there late in the first half. She did have an ice pack on her left knee, and she still remains questionable to return to this game. It will be seen if she does come out to play here in the second half, as the Bobcats are just about to come back onto the court right behind me. But both coaches made significant adjustments throughout that half. As I was able to listen in to both sidelines.
The Eastern Eagles evaded the upset attempt tonight from the Trimble Tomcats, taking them out by a score of 60-52, and that was helped from 48 combined points by Sydney Reynolds and Julie Durst. Reynolds with 28 and Durst with 20. Coach Jay Reynolds says it's so important to have scorers at every single level.
You know, Mata, it might sound like a law firm, but Walters and Reed run the show for Logan Elm. Blayton Reed has this uncanny ability to break arm tackles, and he just wore down that Circleville front. Walters, no slouch either, as he can toss the rock and he can tuck it and run as well, and he's not afraid of contact. It is a powerful two-headed monster.
Sticking with the hardwood, high school boys basketball is in full swing tonight across the Tri-Valley Conference. Let's start off with a banger in the TVC Ohio. The Nelsonville York Buckeyes will take the short trip down the alley to take on the Alexander Spartans. Can Kyler D'Agostino once again will his squad to victory, or will the Buckeyes take one step closer towards a potential conference title? Tip-off 7:30 from Albany. Elsewhere around the Ohio, Megs travels to Athens as both the Marauders and Bulldogs prepare for difficult playoff matchups. Vinton County also heads to Wilson as they also can win the TVC Ohio title outright. Switching over to the TVC Hocking, where Belpre hosts Trimble in what should be a great playoff tune-up for both talented squads. Eastern will also go to Waterford as they look towards their grudge match of a playoff game against South Gallia in 2 weeks' time. Federal Hocking can celebrate their TVC Hocking conference title after their game against Southern tonight. For all the updates, make sure to check out Hardwood Heroes this Sunday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. And it's the second weekend of February. You know what that means? It is time to hit the diamond, as the Ohio softball team walked off their first game of the season today against the George Mason Patriots 6-5. After the Patriots put up a 3-spot in the top of the 7th to take a 5-3 lead, the Bobcats responded with a 3-spot of their own, as Anna Paoli hit her second homer of the game to tie it, and Cece Keidel scored on a throwing error to win it for Ohio. This was their first game at the Gardner-Webb Runnin' Bulldog Classic, and win number 1 for new coach Jenna Hall is in the books. They'll play 3 more times this weekend against Austin Peay twice and Gardner-Webb. All right, it's the big game. Who we got, Chiefs or Eagles?
You know, Ethan, I got to ride with the Eagles. Their offense is hot. Their defense is hotter. Patrick Mahomes hasn't seen anything like it yet.
Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles. Got no reason, just suspicion.
I'll make it unanimous. Fly, Eagles, fly. I got the Eagles, too. No worries about the weather in Phoenix, but how about the weather here in Athens? Well, the weather here in Athens isn't going to be